There's only one thing more frustrating than watching your child struggle with a chronic health issue or you struggling with one yourself. And that's the feeling that you've literally tried everything to help your child and you still can't find the answers that you're looking for. Or you can't find a doctor that will truly listen and find the actual root cause of what's going on. Many parents feel like they are left to put things together all on their own, instead of finding a doctor or a practitioner who can link all of these health challenges together and help the parents make sense of them. Well, we have some good news for you. While it may not be something you've ever heard of before, nervous system dysfunction and dysautonomia and what's called subluxation are the most overlooked and extremely common reasons why your child may not be healing, despite doing all sorts of therapies. The nervous system controls and coordinates every major system of the body, and when it becomes dysregulated or out of balance, it immediately begins to shut down and alter things like gut function and gross motor function. It also massively interferes with immune system function and inflammation. If your child struggles with sleep, gut, immune, sensory issues, and behavioral issues, learning to help them regulate their nervous system and restoring function to the vagus nerve may be the solution that you have been up late night searching for. This video is for parents who feel dismissed and stuck on an endless merry-go-round of medications and therapies hoping to address their child's health condition. In this video, we're going to discuss how optimizing the vagus nerve and overall nervous system function can help with a lot of your child's health struggles. You'll learn how neurologically-focused chiropractic care for kids can help achieve a level of healing you never knew was possible by restoring function to the nervous system, activating the vagus nerve, and getting your child's brain-body connection functioning at its best once again. I want to share a story with you about a young lady who's in our clinic. Her name is Elizabeth, and Elizabeth presented to our clinic after I had multiple phone calls with her mother. Her mom was confused and didn't know where to turn. She saw multiple medical doctors. She saw neurologists, rheumatologists. Everyone just kept passing her over to the next specialist so that they can do a test to find this magic formula that was going to help her. Unfortunately, Elizabeth was struggling with seizures that were very, very significant, sometimes of having 5 seizures a day. It would start with an anxiety attack. That anxiety attack, she knew that the seizures were coming on. Once she started having anxiety, she would get numbness and tingling in her chest. And then all of a sudden she'd go into like 15 to 45 second seizures that were uncontrollable. They would settle down a little bit and then reappear later in the day. As I said, all the scans were negative. She had CT scans, MRI scans, contrast scans, and nothing was showing an actual lesion that a physician can point to. When I heard that over the phone, I told Elizabeth's mom, please bring your daughter in to be evaluated. This is exactly what we do. We work with functional issues that are in the nervous system that are not showing up in an MRI. It's not something a doctor can point to and say, hey, there's the problem right there. So right away when I heard all this information, I was very keen to get Elizabeth in. Sure enough, mom eventually got her in after a little bit of a battle, because who isn't chiropractic about pain, posture, alignment? That's how it's perceived by the public. But this young lady was, after she came in, we did our evaluation, we did our scans, we did our care planning for her, and sure enough, after 3 weeks of care, also addressing the metabolic side of her case, some of the things she had going on at the cellular level were not supportive. Her hormones were a bit out of whack, but most specifically, she had dysautonomia. She had dysfunction in how her brain was perceiving and controlling her body. And once we addressed the subluxations in her body, improved the way her brain perceived and controlled her body, sure enough, seizures are gone. We addressed the metabolic aspect, like I said, and this young lady is 20 years old. Now she's 21, and she's living a fully functional life, hasn't had a seizure since starting care. And that's not because we're geniuses. It's simply because the body knows there's nothing more powerful than the doctor within yourself. And all we do at the healing place is allow for the expression of your nervous system, allow for your brain to perceive and regulate your body as best as possible. And there's no doctor, there's no pill, there's no specialist in the world that is as intelligent as your nervous system. So understand that your nervous system can function on a particular range. It can function really poorly, kind of okay, or really well. And that's what we do here. We improve the functionality of your nervous system so you have the best opportunity to express health. If that story resonates with you, if you have a child or you yourself have complex issues that nobody's been able to solve, maybe we can maybe some scanning in our clinic and some consultation with us may give you the answers that you're looking for. I hope that helps. Okay, we're going to jump into it, give a review of Elizabeth's scans so you can see why she was suffering with gut issues, hormone issues, and seizures. Okay, a functional issue within her nervous system. So if we switch over, what you can see is this is her thermal balance. This gives us an idea as to the temperatures from side to side of the nerves that are exiting your spine. It's important because these nerves that exit your spine here, they control things like your brainstem, your thyroid, your lungs, your liver, your heart, whatever it may be. In this case here with Elizabeth, we're seeing a big signal in the upper cervical complex. That's important because your brain stem is here, and your brain stem regulates autonomics, okay, the things that are happening automatically in your body. What we found is that her primary subluxation area is right here in her upper cervical complex. She was also struggling with like some gut, digestive, hormonal issues, which our technologies did a pretty good job at also picking that up. But what we're seeing here is that she had a primary subluxation in her upper cervical spine. That causes disafferentation. That's just a fancy way to say dysfunctional input, okay? And since the brain doesn't just do things. Since the brain relies on sensory input to the brain, it interprets that information and controls your body based on that. Since she had poor neurological input going to the brain, her brain didn't know where she was in space very well, so her brain struggled to regulate the automatic things that were happening in her body. That is called dysautonomia. Again, that means dysfunction in your autonomic nervous system, specifically in the brainstem. So we were able to adjust the subluxations, which has an effect on one of the brainstem nerves called your vagus nerve. And it upregulates your vagus nerve, which is a parasympathetic nerve, and that downregulates sympathetic activity, and you get a neurology that's pushed more to a parasympathetic state rather than living in that sympathetic state, that fight or flight state. I really hope this video gives you some knowledge as to what we do here, in the depth that we go to help you understand neurology and understand the things that you're going through. Nervous system dysfunction or dysregulation or dysautonomia is very, very common. Essentially, our nervous system can function within like a spectrum of health. It can function really well, it can function kind of okay, and really poorly. And when we see this dysfunction, it can present with a whole host of different symptoms. This is why neurologically focused chiropractic care can enhance the autonomic response, and then you see the correction or the equilibrium of headaches, migraines, seizures, colic, sleep issues, gut issues, a whole host of symptoms. The most common signs of nervous system dysregulation or dysautonomia in kids shows up as sleep issues, gut and stomach problems, frequent respiratory and immune challenges, gross and fine motor problems, sensory overload or sensory processing disorders, and behavioral problems such as tantrums, meltdowns, and so forth. While conventional pediatricians are typically blaming genetics, naturopaths and integrative physicians are talking about gluten and dairy sensitivities, which are important. For millions of kids, nervous system dysfunction and dysautonomia and vagus nerve dysfunction set up early in a child's life and are almost this hidden in plain sight root cause that cannot be underestimated. When every other form of traditional medical testing or integrative and biomedical testing has failed to find the true root cause of your child's health challenges, we can almost guarantee that nervous system dysregulation and what's called subluxation, which originally triggers it, are at play. If you're wondering how to find nervous system dysfunction or dysautonomia and subluxation, here are the signs that you want to look for. They are breakdowns in the basics of neurophysiological function. Things like sleep issues, feeding issues, digestive issues, inability to defecate, to poop, staying healthy instead of sick, regulating the emotions, having sensory processing challenges, and many more other things. From there, the most important thing parents can do is find your local PX doctor and go have what's called neurological insight scans run on your child. These scans do exactly what they sound like. They look inside your child's nervous system to determine how well or not it is functioning and being regulated. Parents, it's time to stop chasing every symptom with a new medication and a new supplement for your child's health issues. Instead, let us help you address everything all at once by getting your child's nervous system function and regulation back in order so that they can truly heal from the inside out and get back on track for their health and well-being. For so many families, neurologically focused chiropractic care like we specialize in here at the Healing Place sounds too good to be true, since doing just one thing can have such a profound effect on various systems of the body. But that's simply how it works. So that's how we work. By getting the nervous system better regulated and working again, you can expect all sorts of improvements in your child's quality of life. Chiropractic isn't just the next thing that may help. It could be the thing that you've been searching for all along. To learn more about nervous system dysregulation, vagus nerve dysfunction, and dysautonomia, and our neurological insight scans, and how we may be able to help, click the link in our bio, give us a call, comment on this video, send us a DM. We look forward to hearing from you so we can do our best to serve you or your family. We can't wait to hear from you and get your family on the healing journey that they deserve.